Sufficient chicken supply for export. Sumarhan traffic light eyes completion by October 2023. Plane carrying 22 people on board missing in Nepal. Those are the headlines for tonight. Good evening, everyone. You're with me, Daryl Elliott, and this is TVS Nightline. We start with our top story. 8 essential food items have been listed under the Gawai Festive Season Maximum Price Scheme from May 29 to June 4th. Minister of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs, KBDN HEP, Dr. Sri Alexander Nantalinggi said the scheme is implemented to stabilize the price of goods and their supply, in addition to ease the people's burden during the festive period.
Selain ayam dan telur, sebanyak 8 jenis barangan yang dikawal harganya sepanjang tempoh pelaksanaan skim harga maksimum Hari Gawai 2022 ini, iaitu ayam tua hidup, kepak ayam, bawang putih import dari China, kubis bulat import, cili kering, babi hidup ini di peringkat ladang sahaja, daging babi bagi perutnya, dan daging babi, daging dan lemak.
He said that the price was determined according to the current market price and taking into account various factors that affect price changes such as foreign exchange rate, increased demands, and so on. Additionally, he said over 2,000 enforcement officers and 1,000 price monitoring officers would conduct inspections in supermarkets and farmers' market.
Sepanjang pelaksanaan skim sehingga 28 Mei 2022 ini, sebanyak 280 pemeriksaan telah dijalankan di atas premis perniagaan di seluruh negeri Sabah dan wilayah Persekutuan Labuan, yang merangkumi pemeriksaan ke atas premis borong dan 278 pemeriksaan ke atas premis runcit. Setakat ini tiada kes dihasilkan serta tiada aduan diterima.
Consumers with information regarding traders' misconduct can report to the ministry through the following complaints channel as shown. In the same development, Nanta said the export of chicken in Sarawak is encouraged, provided that it has a surplus supply of chickens, noting that local supply for domestic consumers will be a priority.
Ya, kalau benar, kalau boleh diekspor, mengapa tidak? Jangan kita berada dalam situasi bekalan dalaman tidak mencukupi dan diekspor pula. Itu kita laranglah. Kalau ada lebihan untuk diekspor, mengapa tidak? Sebab ini adalah satu industri.
Nanta informed that his ministry on Saturday had a meeting with chicken and egg suppliers to discuss the problems they face, in addition to finding a way to help the industry and consumers. When asked whether the government will fix the chicken ceiling price, Nanta said a meeting will be held to deliberate on the matter.
Sebab kita perlukan satu mesyuarat, dan mesyuarat itu akan diadakan bersama pihak yang teratas sekali untuk kita menentukan, untuk kerajaan menentukan apa kaedah yang terbaik selepas Jun 5 hari bulan ini. Ya.
An update on Nepal's plane crash. A state-owned Nepal television have reported that villagers had seen an aircraft on fire at the source of the Liankukola River at the foot of the Himalayan mountain Manapati. The plane's operator Tara Air has dispatched a search team in the direction, though it might be a fire by villagers. The Civil Aviation Authority of Nepal has also dispatched a search team to the said area. Earlier, a twin otter plane carrying 22 people on board went missing in Nepal's mountainside. Out of the 22 people on board, 19 were passengers and 3 were crew members.
A spokesman at the Ministry of Home Affairs said 2 helicopters have been deployed for a search operation, adding that poor visibility and bad weather is likely to hamper the search operation. Jomsom is a popular trekking destination in the Himalayas, about 20 minutes by plane from Pokhara, which lies west of Kathmandu. Nepal, home to the world's highest mountain, has a record of accidents on its extensive domestic air network, with changeable weather and airstrips in difficult mountain locations.
The Kuching Sumarhan Expressway traffic light project is expected to be completed by October 2023. Kota Sumarhan Municipal Council MPKS Chairman Dato' Peter Minos hopes that this would bring much relief to commuters of the highly congested expressway. Noting the frustrations faced by Sumarhan residents, he said the traffic light project, along with the Autonomous Rapid Transit or ART project, slated to begin in the 4th quarter of this year, would solve once and for all Sumarhan traffic woes. According to Minos, the Public Works Department JKR will appoint a new contractor for the project in July. The ART project in Sumarhan will stretch 28 kilometers and will pass 14 stations from Rimbus to Hikmah Exchange. He also said Sumarhan would see new developments with a hospital, a cancer center, an infectious disease research center, and a new housing hub to be established there. Lundu is in urgent need of a new hospital, said Opar Assemblyman Billy Sujang. He said the current state of the existing hospital, including its dated facilities, could not accommodate the increasing number of patients in the district.
Macam seperti mana yang disebut dalam jawapan balas DUN oleh Menteri tadi, dia kata akan dibawa untuk hospital, contohnya akan dibawakan dalam rancangan Malaysia ke-13. Tapi kalau kita nak nunggu rancangan Malaysia ke-13, dia masih ada lagi beberapa tahun. So kita kena bawa, kalau boleh hospital itu disegerakan.
He said this at the Hari Raya Aidilfitri celebration in Kampung Temaga Melayu, Lundu, on Sunday. Billy also said the site for the new hospital has also been identified, adding that once the new hospital is completed, other development projects in Lundu, such as the construction of a polytechnic, will take place. Meanwhile, Billy said the state government is mulling a new township in Opar to cater to the economic development in the constituency.
Yang sangat penting adalah untuk menyediakan prasarana, terutama sekali untuk sebahagian daripada pentadbiran. Yang kedua, kedai-kedai makan, kedai runcit dan juga stesen minyak. Dan yang penting adalah market juga kita kena ada.
All posts involving all levels under the administration of Parti Pusaka Bumiputra Bersatu (PBB) will be contested in its upcoming General Assembly, slated to take place at the Borneo Convention Centre, Kuching, BCCK, from June 17 to June 19.
Jadi akan bermula dengan pada hari pertama pada 17 hari bulan untuk pemuda dan 18 hari bulan bagi badan induk dan mengambil 2 hari. Dan dalam perhimpunan perwakilan agung pada kali ini, baik di peringkat pergerakan pemuda dan pergerakan wanita dan juga di badan induk, parti akan mengadakan pemilihan untuk jawatan-jawatan di semua peringkat.
Nanta spoke to reporters after attending the PBB Supreme Council meeting. Meanwhile, Nanta said PBB's secretariat has proposed several motions to be tabled. Among them regards both the president and the vice president posts.
Di masa terdahulu pun pernah juga kita menerima usul yang sama, iaitu di mana rata-rata meminta ataupun mengusulkan supaya jawatan yang di-Ketua Parti, jawatan-jawatan timbalan yang di-Ketua Parti diusulkan supaya tidak ditandingkan.
In the same development, Nanta said amendment to the party's constitution will be highlighted during the party's General Assembly to accommodate more youths to be part of PBB.
Perlembagaan parti nanti iaitu lebih kepada bagaimana untuk memasukkan kita ada golongan belia yang baru yang kita panggil buat masa ini 18-28, iaitu mereka yang sampai ke usia 18 tahun daripada usia 28 tahun dikatakan usia muda ini, sebab kita nak lebih terangkumlah kepada mereka yang secara otomatis didaftar sebagai pengundi. Jadi ini perkembangan terbaru lah yang terkini, dan ini yang begitu signifikan lah dalam pindaan perlembagaan.
The assembly will be attended by about 2,000 representatives.
Coming up after the break, Prime Minister gives assurance that media is free to operate without interference, and world's longest glass bridge opens to public in Vietnam. Right here on TVS Nightline. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Now, Santex Commercial Sarawak will be providing a platform for locals to market their products starting September. Its General Manager, Shahrin Yusri, said the products will be marketed through the Sense of Malaysia SOM program and to be placed at strategic locations such as the Kuching International Airport and Kuala Lumpur International Airport KLIA.
Pada bulan September, awal September, Santex Commercial telah diberi satu rights oleh DDEC, Design Development Center Malaysia. DDEC ni dalam bahasa Melayunya apa? DDEC?
Pusat Pembangunan Reka Bentuk.
Pusat Pembangunan Reka Bentuk Malaysia. Okey, yang merupakan sebuah agensi kerajaan federal government untuk tujuan membawa produk-produk tempatan untuk dipromosi ataupun dikomersialkan, dijual di airport di Malaysia, airport di Malaysia, dengan kerjasama Malaysia Airport Berhad lah. Jadi melalui program Sense of Malaysia, Sense of Malaysia. So untuk permulaan, Santex Commercial akan memulakan kerjasama di airport Kuching dan juga airport dan di KLIA. Dia ada lagi 4 airport lain lah, di Penang, di Kedah, di Langkawi, di Kota Kinabalu, dan satu lagi di KLIA.
Shahrid added, products that are branded properly and recognized by the Intellectual Property of Corp of Malaysia or MyIPO will have the added advantage of being more recognizable by consumers, especially when it is being displayed to the international audiences arriving at airports. Entrepreneurs who are interested with the opportunity may reach out to Centex Commercial's official website.
The National Journalist Day, or Hawana 2022 celebration, is very meaningful for media practitioners as unsung heroes and the frontliners behind every event that takes place in the country. Communications and Multimedia Minister Tan Sri Anwar Musa today said Hawana celebration must be made a national agenda to recognize the role played by journalists and media practitioners in the country.
Anwar gave his assurance that as long as he is still serving the government, Hawana will be given the highest priority and attention. In addition, Anwar wants the Ministry of Communications and Multimedia KCOM to pay more attention to all matters discussed and formulated in Hawana forums. He said this was important to resolve issues, including grievances faced by journalists and media practitioners that the public is mostly unaware of.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Dato Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob has given his assurances that media should remain free to operate without any interference from other parties. He acknowledged the role of journalists as the fourth estate who work with the government to make the country's development agenda a success.
Kerajaan tidak pernah menghalang media daripada menyiarkan sebarang laporan berita yang ada kala dijadikan panduan pihak berwajib untuk mengambil tindakan susulan seperti bertindak menyalurkan bantuan untuk kesejahteraan keluarga Malaysia.
He said this when officiating the National Journalist Day Hawana 2022 themed People's Voice National Aspiration on Sunday. Ismail Sabri said the government always takes note of reports published in the media and that government ministries and agencies always cooperate with the media by facilitating in the dissemination of balanced, accurate and authentic information.
Menjadi harapan kerajaan agar golongan wartawan terus menyiarkan laporan yang adil dan proaktif dalam mengeluarkan cadangan bagi penyelesaian kepada sesuatu isu yang dibangkitkan.
Also present at this year's Hawana celebration was Communications and Multimedia Minister Tan Sri Anwar Musa, including media practitioners from Indonesia.
As the National COVID-19 Immunization Program for Children, or PIG Kids, approaches its deadline on May 31st, more than 50% of Malaysia's children aged 5 to 11 have yet to receive their COVID-19 vaccines. Even so, Sarawak recorded the highest number of vaccinated children, with 90% having been inoculated with at least a single dose. According to COVID Now's website, only 48%, or about 1.7 million children throughout the country, have been administered with the first dose as of Friday, May 27th. On the breakdown of primary inoculation, Malacca came in second after Sarawak, recording 62.7%, followed by Klang Valley with 57%, Johor 55.5%, Negeri Sembilan 54.5%, Penang 52.1%, Labuan 51.8%, and Perak with 49%. Other states have recorded below the warranted first dose inoculation, with Pahang recorded 38.5%, Kedah 33.3%, Sabah 31.8%, Perlis 31.1%, Terengganu 19.9%, and Kelantan 15.6%. At the same time, the Ministry of Health MOH, through a Facebook post, reminded parents not to send their children for vaccination at the very last minute. The ministry urges parents and guardians to register their child immediately to get the first dose injection of COVID-19 under the MOH Big Kids program. On fully vaccinated children, Malaysia has reached 32.5%, involving well over 1.15 million children. Sarawak again recorded the highest with 69.8%, ahead of the national rate. Malacca followed through with 42.9%, Penang 41.6%, Johor 39%, Klang Valley 38.7%, and Negeri Sembilan 37.4%. You're watching TVS Nightline. U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris has called for an assault weapons ban after she left the funeral of Ruth Whitfield, who was shot and killed instantly at a supermarket 2 weeks ago by an avowed white supremacist. She said the constant shootings have turned into an epidemic of hate in the country.
What happened here in Buffalo, in Texas, in Atlanta, in Orlando? What happened at the synagogues? And so this is a moment that requires all good people, all God-loving people, to stand up and say, we will not stand for this. Enough is enough. We will come together based on what we all know we have in common, and we will not let those people who are motivated by hate separate us or make us feel fear.
Harris further stated that resolving the gun violence, unlike finding a vaccine, needs no research. The most effective way is known to many: a ban against ownership of weapons, especially an assault weapon.
You know what an assault weapon is? You know how an assault weapon was designed? It was designed for a specific purpose: to kill a lot of human beings quickly. An assault weapon is a weapon of war with no place in a civil society. Background checks. Why should anyone be able to buy a weapon that can kill other human beings without at least knowing, hey, has that person committed a violent crime before? Are they a threat against themselves or others? That's just reasonable.
Whitfield, mother of 4, was shot nearby a nursing home with a semi-automatic assault-style rifle after visiting her husband of 68 years old. During her memorial, Harris departed with a painful remark, not only addressed for the loss of Whitfield's family, but for the country itself.
The pain that this family is feeling right now, and the 9 other families here in Buffalo, I cannot even begin to express our collective pain as a nation for what you are feeling in such an extreme way. To not only lose someone that you love, but through an act of extreme violence and hate. And I do believe that our nation right now is experiencing an epidemic of hate.
In India, many Indians were struck with panic when its authorities withdrew a warning not to share copies of the national biometric card, as it contained a unique number that is tied to one's fingerprints, face and eye scan. Known as the Aadhaar card, many fear that it could lead to a surveillance state, though it aims to block theft and leakage in India's welfare scheme.
On Friday, May 27th, authority issued a warning of a possible misuse of an edited Aadhaar card via its copies, where unlicensed private entities such as hotels or cinemas in collecting and keeping copies of the Aadhaar card. This caused panic, and the matter went viral in mere seconds, becoming the top 10 trending topics in India on Twitter. Fast forward to Sunday, May 29th, a new statement said the Aadhaar ecosystem had adequate features to protect the identity and privacy of its users, and they should practice normal prudence when using the card. The Unique Identification Authority of India further assured users that it is near impossible to impersonate an individual if the Aadhaar card is used to prove one's identity. Previously, in 2018, India's Supreme Court upheld the validity of the Aadhaar, but flagged privacy concerns and reined in a government push to make it mandatory for everything from banking to telecommunication services.
The world's longest glass bottom bridge opened to the public in Son La, Vietnam on Saturday. The 632 meters long Bac Long or White Dragon Bridge suspension bridge beats the previous record holder for the glass bottom bridge in Guangdong, China, which measures at 526 meters. With see-through bottom made from 3 layers of 40mm thick tempered glass, it can hold 450 people at a time.
Em không dám nhìn xuống dưới đâu vì em sợ độ cao. Em đang tưởng tượng là nếu mà lỡ mà rơi xuống sẽ làm thế nào, xong rồi sợ không dám đi tiếp nữa.
It links two mountaintops across a 150 meters deep valley and is completed with a 342 meters pathway that hugs around a cliffside.
Lần đầu tiên mình đi cầu kính và mình cảm thấy rất là sợ và toát hết cả mồ hôi ra mà không dám nhìn xuống dưới luôn, sợ quá. Nhưng mà rất muốn là vượt qua được chính mình và vượt qua được cái thử thách cái cầu.
A Guinness World Record representative was at the official opening ceremony to hand over the plaque certifying its recognition.
The now recorded longest glass-bottom cliffside pathway, and it's spectacular. The engineering required to build that into the side of a cliff but maintain all the features of nature, the greenery, the rock, has been an amazing project, very successful, and I think it will attract a lot of tourists.
Festivities are meant to be celebrated with joy and laughter, but it could be hampered with sadness and tears if a fire breaks out, destroying precious memories that could have been lived through. So to prevent any breakouts of fire during the festive seasons, get some insights with the experts on Sejahtera Asia tomorrow with guest Muhammad Fauzi Muhammad Kifli, Bomba Sarawak Assistant Director for Fire and Safety, with hosts Alexan Nilian and Sharon Kizia, 7:30 a.m. on TVS Astro Channel 122 and My Freeview. See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally, just a click away by heading on to our website at TVSTVMY or follow us on our social media platforms. And that's all the time we have for TVS Nightline. Once again, you're with me, Douglas Elliott. Thank you for watching.